It is.
All right, they're going Sky FD, so it's going to definitely take a little bit longer for Batman to
I
kill.
have the names backwards. All right, well.
Ajax, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, it's not my fault. Waffle told me the wrong sides. Just so I'll fix it after. So the blue team is on the left, which is Wavy and Swirv. And the red team is on the right, Lemon team and Ghopo, and they already putting in so much work. Batman and Finn, we haven't seen this team, like I said, really since Chavo Zoo.
Been a while.
And it is still
the
very dangerous.
Characters are very different than back then.
Way different than back then. But even so, their gameplay of going vertical, once you get one off of like the bag, it's so easy to combo afterwards.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Swirv is so good against Batman, especially his recovery. Lemon T's going to be very afraid of that.
I know from experience he's very good against
Swirv
Batman.
is nuts against Batman.
Well, he just knows how to fight that character.
Like, he is one of the people who made me believe that matchup was -2 at one point, besides him and Pin. Then it got a little bit closer as time went,
It's pretty
but
bad.
he's still so good at it. And then you got Wavy, who you watch how you pay so much attention to Swirv stage control, and then here comes Wavy to back him up to close it out off the top.
Next thing you know, oh, I died at 80.
They are so consistent with that. And of course, these two have so much history online. They have performed extremely well in all MVS Fall showdowns. Majority of online bracket period, so it only gets better from that point forward. I've been talking straight for the past like 4 hours. My throat just started. Like, hey,
Yeah, I feel it.
hey, bro, what's up? All right, here we go. 2 stocks now onto the blue team. After that very early one that they took against.
What a knife snipe, though.
And look at that recovery there from Wavy too. He waited until the bomb was about to go off to then teleport back in to mix up his timing against Lemontea. Allowed them a free double up on the Ghopo. Uppercut does find its mark though, and there's 122 sitting on the Wavy. That is now gone.
Like I said this is gonna be a fast one, and well, it's been 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's no shot that any of these games last like longer than 3 minutes. Best of 5, but this might last as long as some of the best of 3s.
Yeah, probably.
That Sair won't be enough to
Barely.
Sky Arena
Barely.
definitely coming in a little bit there. Slightly bigger blast zones on the right-hand side compared to some stages, but that is now one off the top. That's a free double up on the Ghopo, and they put a lot of damage onto him fast.
Oh, got a dagger on Batman.
Oh, he tried to go back up there for the up air.
He tried to go back up there. Luckily, it is Sky Arena.
Very scary position for Ghopo. Of course, Ghopo and Lemontea don't have the same experiences these two have in 2s, but these are 2 very strong individual players themselves, so they can definitely make it work. They have a bad
Bomb is on
applied.
Jake. He's got to be careful.
Ooh, that's a bad spot. He's going to be forced
It's
to
a
cover
real bad
in.
spot,
And they
but-
catch Ghopo slipping on the bottom. Fist bump immediately out for Swirv and Wavy. I love being able to see these two finally perform in person. For one, you find out that they're both like 4 foot. Like they're both like.
But they fight like they're
this tall.
7'5".
They fight with grown man energy though. like they definitely do. But it's so funny like just seeing like Wavy will look at like Takoa, who's also pretty young and pretty short, and be like, hey, 5'3". He calls him by his height. It's like, bro, you're just as like short as he is. What are you talking about?
I can't even laugh.
You're
I'm
like
not that tall
13
either.
years old. What are you talking about? Ghopo selling for content. He's selling just so he can say buff Finn later. That's
His entire. The man is
Okay.
a brilliant Machiavellian strategist.
I don't think I have a logical enough amount of time to switch these names fast enough without it showing up during the game.
Chad knows. Well, next game we'll explain it.
I'll
again.
let it rock. Okay.
We'll explain it
again.
again for
Reminder:
new people
the
joining
names
in.
are backwards. For 2s because I wanted them in a specific position. They're not on an automated bot, so I have to manually adjust them. It's gonna take too long, so I'm not gonna do that. But that was game number 1, going to Swirv and Wavy, who are on the right side position of the screen. They are up. They are on the left side, though. They are the blue team, Jake and Arya, who played very well after, again, you know, sometimes when you have, like, an early stock like what happened with Batman and Finn at the start, your mentality could go, ooh, crap, we can't find him in the air. But they just didn't care. They're like, okay, it's fine. We lost one. Whatever. Right back into it.
Right back into it. It's a good mentality to have, especially in best of 5. But I mean, Wavy with these enraged knives, it's just crazy good accuracy. But
he's so good at it, and his mix-ups on when he does it is the most frightening part.
It's hard to read.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like you try to pre-predict him, and then he'll stand there and walk, and then throw it. And you're like, what the hell? And it'll catch you off guard all the time. And then, especially in 2s, oh yeah, don't let Swirv get a hold of that batarang.
No.
That's exactly why you
As
don't
Batman,
let him
you do not want to have Max Weekend on you. You die at nothing.
That's very true, and just the fact that you don't want him any of them comboing off of your battering
No.
at all. It's so free. But that is a knockout onto I
He's
believe
got to
that
be careful. He's got a dagger on
Wavy?
him.
Oh, that was Swirv. Excuse me. And we ran it back to Sky Arena no plats again. I just realized that. Honestly, just
We did.
I feel like both of these teams they have pretty much the same strengths and weaknesses.
They're both afraid of dying vertically. So
Yeah.
they picked the big one.
The only one I think would be like super OD
Good
would be
uppercut.
Cromulon's good uppercut, and also didn't get hit. That was the
Exactly.
biggest thing because Swirv was right underneath them to try and get that punish.
Important lead. Now this is up to Batman. Try and tank this stock. And he's at 162, but they're both over 100. Luckily, they both don't die from that.
Very important stock positions right now. Ghopo has to become a stock tank, which is not the easiest thing to do as Finn.
Unfortunately, he's not. He's sitting back.
I think the biggest thing he's waiting for right now is Lemontea to line up a combo. Or do that. Try to chase after him to sneak one out, but he gets reversed himself.
reversed.
I do respect the attempt, though.
I mean, he was at, what, 142? You might as well just go for it.
Yeah, you're
gonna
on
die
borrowed
anyway.
time. If you sneak one out at 20, like he was trying to do, low percent, it might have worked. And he tried to mix it up that time, too. He didn't go for the teleport immediately. Went for the gem toss down to cover the dodge down that time.
Good gem placement.
Now that left side of the stage kind of belongs to the red team, and he catches him on the
Good
late
uppercut.
hit. So 78 or
Let's see
82.
if they can keep it going.
Yeah, can they build
Control
on
that
this
left
That's the
stage.
biggest thing. And remember, too, this is still the original weight of Jake, so that 82 now is going to help a bit here on the on Sky Arena. But now that we're at this point, the vertical gameplay from the blue team can knock out
Good
Jake if he goes
dodges.
too high.
Good synchronous dodges to staying away from that zone.
And that's a map bomb applied too. Dodges out to the left to make sure he doesn't get caught, but Ghopo trying to cover the teleport in from Wavy. Does not find his mark. Sertu does line him
Sertu?
up into a combo, and he
What a
converts
lineup.
off of the top. That was so well executed. They
What
went
a lineup.
Dude, they went Ser 1-2, up attack, bounce up, position himself to cover a panic dodge to the right, and if he didn't, immediately uppercut, close it out. That was so good.
He was ready for it because that uppercut was already buffered. Like, that animation had already started. He was ready for that knockback.
That was beautiful, especially from a team that doesn't really team. I do know that Ghopo and Paradox play online sometimes to occasionally play too, so he's been getting used to how to play with Batman. But Lemontea and Ghopo don't team at all.
No.
But that experience with teaming with Paradox, as much as they goof off with each other, they've definitely helped each other grow a lot.
You could tell it definitely took them a bit of time to get a rhythm, but then we saw that rhythm and what it can do.
Yeah, that was very well executed. And this is part of why it's fun to have like the best of 5 territory now. Because that was just game 2. Imagine if we only had one more game of this.
The mentality would be so much different. The anxiety levels would just be through the roof.
Yeah. Yes, that is Wavy on cam for people who are wondering. That is Wavy and then Ghopo to the right.
How old is Wavy?
It's 13.
Jeez, bro.
Literal
That's why I can't win. I'm almost 30. I can't compete with these 13-year-olds.
infant. Right now we have game number 3. Seems like we're just going to stay on Sky Arena. What do you think so far? I mean, they brought it back, but it feels like they've been playing from behind most of the time. What do you think Ghopo and Lemontea need to do to try? Who's the greater weak point that they need to try and focus down
The
to try
problem
and
is
get a lead this time?
the problem is they need to stop being separated so much. Even now, like, they just get separated a lot, and it's like you're both light. You need to move as one unit. Distribute your weight, because when you're separate, you're both just 2 light characters that are pretty easy to kill.
Yeah, they got.
As we just saw.
They couldn't get separated because they were getting comboed together. They fought as one and they got bodied as one in the start of that game. So now, I mean, they can't. Luckily for them, they have the early KO potential of
he
Batman
stared
and
right
Finn,
into
but
that dagger.
sometimes you just go for it too. Like, you don't even realize its position is there, and they just don't care. I've seen Ghopo go for the side special to try and break it a few times, but then Wavy's just mixed it up to make sure he doesn't do that.
It's a good bait. It's been working. And another dagger on Batman.
That just keeps him from being able to go vertical. And it combo breaks. He stopped him from being able to get more damage on the swerve.
See if he can capitalize on that. Bat bomb is on Jake.
They're out of the way. They try to get a dare lineup into to swerve off the top for Ghopo, but didn't find his mark. Neutral attack does find his mark, though, but because he was in the middle of
Good
teleporting
uppercut.
down, he actually finds... I thought he would get swerve. I figured... I didn't think Wavy was going to die in the midst of that, but that works out for them because now it's actually a pretty even game, minus Batman sitting at 108.
Yeah, they're both over 100, but as long as they can focus on that Jake, unfortunately, he is a higher weight than he is online, so it is... Well, I mean, when Finn is past 130, he's going to die like that, but
So he's gonna come through. You gotta be careful here if you're Ghopo, actually. Like, I get the idea of wanting to chase, but yeah, you don't let Swirv stare at you while you've used all your resources. You will not make that back.
Besides, Batman decides to go against Arya instead of continuing his advantage state on Jake. I think that was a mistake, honestly.
See if that costs them at all.
But they need to be focusing on Jake. And there you go.
They do. They find the dare. Can they get a double up on the Arya? Not really. Just not too. They didn't really have the best position to continue to chase, but they are getting a lot of damage. They just missed that dodge in too. Like Lemontea read the dodge in, but he just missed it.
Just missed it. They need to be focusing on that high percentage Arya, because high percentage Arya might as well be 130 Jake.
Yeah, and you see how they start to put passive damage on the Swirv now too, because the damage is already done on Arya. So once they get that knockout, then they get the job done on the next part. Because they already have 100 plus sitting on Finn, they can't afford much more.
I know what you mean.
Good high recovery and one reversal on the slap, giving them the high fives.
It's so funny watching them do it at a disadvantage. It feels like an all hope is lost option, but it's actually not that bad. But that move does make you feel like all hope is lost. Up attack hitting you on the ground.
A stupid, silly move.
So that moves them up 2-1. This also answers the question, by the way, of somebody asking, is this best of 5? Yes. All of top 8 is going to be best of 5.
Otherwise, they'd be getting up and leaving.
Correct. And for singles, it's probably going to be the same way. I was thinking about doing all of top 16 as best of 5, but then I remembered eventually I want to go home. So we'll be most likely just be doing top 8 for that. But
it's just the reality of life.
eventually people have to leave, as much as we like them to just stay here. If y'all want to get them to wave at the chat or something, you can read the chat right now. So.
Steve's in the back like the Godfather.
Wait, where's he at? Yo, by the way, you see Roger standing up? Look, Roger's tall.
Roger is a tall individual.
Oh, there's Bugsby. Just Bugsby is a cameraman all the way through. Also, just remember, because it's best of 5, I definitely had time to switch the names. I could have did it.
If you're new to the stream here,
you know,
blue team is on the left.
I'm going to do this. This is gonna drive me crazy if I don't. All right, don't mind the names being switched around on the top. I swear you notice you see nothing.
Right now, just you know, Ben and Finn staying a little too separated, but luckily they get back into neutral and now they're controlling the stage. Bat bomb is on deck and it is applied to Arya. Yeah, right now it's just blue team is controlling the middle of the stage really well. They just keep separating Batman and Finn.
This is your time to go solo right here. I'm trying to change all the names.
I am a color commentator, so you picked the wrong man.
I chose the color commentator.
You're the play-by-play.
The key is to know how to do both.
That is a stock lead for blue.
And I mean that's pretty much been a consistent theme ever since the first game. They haven't really let ghopo and Lemontea really establish that lead they had, because they stole one away to start off the game last time. They're just saying no, like our lead belongs to us. Those names were definitely in the right position the entire time. No shot they were wrong. But
I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, so, also that means I have to switch the scores.
So red team, yeah, they're not really keeping an advantage state all that long. Like they'll get a lead and it's kind of gone quickly. But that uppercut is going to take it. Now they need to capitalize on that. Focus on Jake. He's at 125.
I think that's been the biggest part that's stressful right now. Is that normally the advantage state is beautiful for the red team as they do get that knockout off the top. But you can't go vertical all the time against a team like this, because blue team loves when you go vertical. They're the best like anti-jumpers in the game.
It's Arya and Jake. Like,
up special, bye. Arya's up special, goodbye. So you have to pick and choose your moments so much more carefully.
Right now, Batman not being able to do really much. That's another stock lead for them. Luckily, they need to
also something
else. A little out of sync. That's the issue with red team.
I just realized something else, by the way, Bone. We have no like hyper zoners in these winter side.
Oh
like,
no!
Like
I don't get to watch people camp.
Well, that's the difference. That's the bit of a difference between like the offline and offline metas, is that like with offline you can get hyper aggro and
projectiles are hard carried by online. It's been a thing for decades.
This isn't any game too. Like being able to naturally react is a little bit harder to anything online. Period. But the way that these teams are working is so good. 112
coming in to
Batman.
save.
Can they find a double knockout?
But
it doesn't matter. Actually, they only
Batman.
needed one more. 3-1 victory going to Wavy and Swirv, our #1 seeds of the tournament. Like I said, would have been Light Wisp and Sandstorm, and then Swirvy and Wave as second. But to be honest, with the way things go,
they're playing like their first seed.
yeah, they're playing like they're ready to take the whole thing, and this is exactly what you expect from a team core like this.
You know, even though it was 3-1, it wasn't too dominant. You know,
No.
it was mostly a pretty even set. I do think they should have maybe mixed things up with a stage choice.
Mm-hmm.
The verticality wasn't always working, and they maybe could have focused on, you know, horizontal. Obviously, Jake is great at everything, but I feel like maybe doing Sky Arena FD 3 times is maybe not the way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, running it. I feel like that's a little bit dangerous for giving